keep this simple rather than try to do all this on the phone and blah, blah, blah. Let's just take a look at what you have so far. Now, transcript totals here in this box do not include the current semester. To date, you have 76 credits. You tried 87. If you remember, you dropped world geography last year. That cost you 3, and then you failed economics 2 times. So 6. I don't remember how you lost those credits, but anyway, you have 76. All right, so you have 76 active credits going into the coming semester, spring. Finish the 13 you're taking, and you will then have 89. So at the December 7th or whatever it is that it ends, you will have 89 credits, assuming you passed everything that you're taking. You need 120 to graduate. So that means you need 31 more credits to make the 120. And that's assuming that your current grades are not a C minus, but they're a C or better, of course. So far, all your grades are C or better, and I emphasize or better so far, except the geography, which is about the lowest C minus you can get without being a D. So you got to try to build that up. All right. Here are the courses I could find this semester because you're trying to keep your workload down a bit. And at this point, you don't need the hardest courses that we can find. I mean, I haven't signed you up for any history or heavy writing or anything like that because you've already shown me that you can't get that done this semester with this work schedule. So here's the schedule that's been assembled based on things that the school will allow you to take. All right, let's look at the schedule first before we look at this chart. Currently, you are scheduled for 15 credits. Now, I certainly don't recommend, if you're working, I do not recommend 15 credits, but let's look at what we got here. We have Intro to Multimedia, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Then that's at 9:30. Couldn't get anything later. Then you have Organizational Communication. Okay. Again, that's a pretty reasonable time. Um, then you have Public Speaking. Okay. I'll explain all of these afterwards. Following that on Wednesday and Friday, you'll notice that you have Monday off. And then you have Entrepreneurship, which is a 1 session class that meets on Tuesday. And that is about, oh, you'll see, we'll talk about that in a second. Then we have scheduled an online course called Art Appreciation, 3 credits. It's distance learning online, no set day or time. Now, first, let's take a look at the schedule here before we go into details about the courses. You need to take, if you take 15, you need 16 credits to graduate. Okay? Now, 16 credits to graduate still isn't going to cut it next year in 1 semester, not if you're working. So it looks like this, based on the work schedule that you're trying to maintain, um, you can't go into the 15 credit mode at any time. All right. So let's look at the options for taking 12 credits. If you take 12 credits this next semester, which would be 4 courses, you'll need 19 to graduate. That's roughly 10 per semester next year. Okay. If you take 9 now, you will need 22 credits to graduate next year. That's not supposed to be an E on there. It's a spell check did that. If your plan is to keep this work schedule to help, with the expenses and having the money that you feel you need to leave because you like to live, because you like to eat out, Here are my second suggestions. You take 9 now for the upcoming semester. Then you take 12 in the fall when you come back because you have better selections in the fall semester. But those are decisions you can make. Take 12 in the fall when you come back. And you could even take a 2 credit course. They have a 2 credit course, something called personal development, which has got to be a no brainer A course. You just go and you listen, and there's no tests or anything like that. So those courses are a good option. Or a 3 credit online. Well, either one of these could be online during the summer or yeah, you won't even feel it. Just set aside a night a week or whatever, get the work done, and you're cool. That's an option. Okay. Then you'd only have to take 9 in the spring of next year, and you'll be done. And you can adjust any of that, of course, if you fail anything. All right. So, that being said, this is actually what's on your schedule right now. All right. 15 credits. You have until a week after school starts to actually drop those with the ones that you want to drop. All right. Now, let's look at this. Here's the schedule in title and explanation: art appreciation, entrepreneurship, multimedia studies, communications, and public speaking. Not high intensity courses at all. Again, because of your work schedule. 2 of these you're waitlisted on. In all probability, you will get into those. Okay. But you're waitlisted on them uh, to make the complete 15. All right, let's scroll down. Let's look at the art appreciation course. The art appreciation course is online. So as you saw on the chart above, you do that course whenever obviously it's a online lecture that you have to do. They'll leave it on for the week and then it'll disappear. And the assignments will be on Canvas or something like that. I don't know. But it's art appreciation. So, I mean, how hard can it be? Uh, it's basically an understanding lecturing course with films and slides. This is a general education course. Now, the teacher, the professor, I forget the name, but I looked them all up. Here's the rating. The professor is rated, the course rather. The course is rated 2 out of 5 in difficulty. That means it's less than average. 3 is average. If a course is rated 3 out of 5, then it's average difficulty. What that means, I don't really know, but the students have set the rating. This is a less than average difficulty. Here are some of the comments. Overall, it's not a hard class. I highly recommend getting the textbook in order to do well on the quizzes because all the answers come straight from the book. There are a few discussions assignments that don't take long, and a final video collaboration. She's very easy to get in touch with, and it's not very harsh when it comes to grading. Now, that video collaboration might not even exist because that was not the online version. That was a real version somebody took. Professor Thiemann is a great professor. She was very easy on grading, and her quizzes were straightforward. Her lectures are pretty solid, and other than a few tangents that she goes on off, she, super easy class, no reason to fail. There are 12 quizzes throughout the semester, and they're super easy. She doesn't post her PowerPoints or use Lockdown Browser, but all the answers are in the book. The final was a collaboration with other students, but I ended up getting 100 on it. And again, I don't know if the final would be the same way as a collaboration, because I don't think that was an online version of the course. All right. So there were more than that, but they're all similar. That's the couple peekaboo shots at the ratings of other students. The next course, entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship, you have to be a junior as a prerequisite, which you are. Introduction to major concepts and fundamental principles for starting a new business. Hell, that might be what you actually decide to do someday. Emphasis will be placed on developing customers, a business model, and problems to solve uh, during the initiation stage of starting your business. The rated difficulty for this course is 2 out of 5, again, below average. I've taken about 3 classes with Professor Cox. Yeah, he had good ratings. And if I could take more, I would. He is very understanding and business oriented. He's always willing to answer any question you have related to the course, business ideas, etc. Very down to the point on class. Just do your work, participate, you'll pass. He didn't make it harder than it needed to be. And he's very interesting, understanding of the daily lives of students who also work as many hours sometimes as he does. With that being said, he's a super understanding guy and also very knowledgeable, giving insight to business tips from his experience. The book is a must have, but you can actually get the book on a PDF free. Okay, third course, Introduction to Multimedia Studies. An introduction to the transformation of newspapers and magazines and film and video and how it became the digital multimedia form. It's based on technological innovations and internet advertising. It sounds like it could be interesting if you let yourself get interested. The difficulty is a little bit harder. It's average, 3 out of 5. I remember this guy too. I looked him up. Kevin is a really good guy. Going into the multimedia journalism feeling, this class is required. Taking him is probably the easiest choice. For me, the class was long. He took a 3 hour session. You don't. However, it was very easy. The whole class is graded on iClicker questions and 3 tests. So depending on how well you do on the tests, basically your grade. Great teacher, super nice guy, cares about your grade, gives extra credits, wants to help you pass. He's funny and he respects students and he's helpful. A little lecture heavy. Okay. Patrick's lectures are not the most interesting, but he is very kind and open to explaining what you may not understand. He's articulate in his explanations, expects you to have read the textbook before class. The majority of your grade will be test based, but he lets you use your notes and the textbook during the exams. If you skip class, you won't pass. Test based, but likes participation. I love this subject, but his lectures are very extended and not extreme. These people had the 3 hour COVID online. He is such an awesome dude, though. He gives extra credit papers, open book exams. You watch films, and a majority of the time, and lots of open class discussion, which is really fun and gets pretty interesting. He makes the class enjoyable. Read the chapters, and you'll get an A. Skip class, you won't pass. He is so nice, and it must be a girl. So adorable. His class was 7 to 10, so another 3 hour one. And he really made it the best he could since he knew all of us were tired. His tests are difficult, but as long as you show up to every class and do a few assignments he asks of you, you will pass with at least a B. Participate once per session is important. Great teacher, clear, concise, passed all 3 tests semester, but they're difficult, blah, blah, blah. All right, now the guy does teach more than one course. I tried to keep these in line with with the courses that kids that took the same course you're signing up for here. Organizational communication explores the role of communication in organizations, as well as the role of technology, leadership, teamwork, ethics, and working with others in effective communication among organizations. I don't know what to tell you. It's a generic, almost a generic business course. Uh, Her average student rating was a 4.3. That's very high out of five. So the students really liked her, him, or whatever. Her, okay. And the level of difficulty was still less than average, 2.6. All right, 2.6 out of five. So that's halfway to difficult. I didn't print the preview because she did not teach this class before, as she taught mostly public speaking. So this is a course that is not public speaking, but it's in the same department. So originally she taught public speaking, and this is how her students rated her. Everybody liked her and gave her a 4.3. So, got that so far. Her public speaking rating was 4.7. Last one. Oh, the last one's public speaking. This is the course. Public speaking. The rating was 4.7 in quality and liking, and her level of difficulty was 2.1. And guess what? The course that she was teaching was not public speaking, it was one of the advanced public speaking courses in communication. And they still rated her at a 2.1 difficulty and a 4.7 teacher. It's the introduction to the theory and practice of public speaking. Students develop some practical skills in preparing, presenting, and even critiquing other forms of public speaking or discourse. This is a general education course. And here are the comments on her from her harder courses. One of the best professors, incredibly understanding, filled with happiness and joy, only teacher I'd show up to for at 8 a.m. Just don't be annoying and she will be great. You get out of what you put in. She's the best, so I signed up for another class next semester. Whatever you do, make sure you take Cindy's class, any of them. She doesn't give you busy work or tests. You have speech projects and discussions, but if your class is a good class, you'll wind up getting a good grade. Ah, damn it. Class is a good grade. Okay, here we are. The best teacher in the world. I've been at FAU 3 years, and now she is for the best professor I've ever taken. Blah blah blah. You can read it. It's right there in front of you. I'm tired of reading all these. I read them before. And there's a notation about the advanced classes that she did teach. Public speaking is a basic intro class. And here's her overall rating. That's what the rate my professors looks like. 18 people rated her in the 5 range. One didn't like her, and one rated her as average. So that's the give. That's the shtick. That's everything there. Uh, you know the courses you need for graduation, which was summarized right here. Take a close look at that. I'll send you a paper copy of this also. But this is it. Now you need to decide, the sooner the better, but you need to decide what you want to do with this. As I said, you do have until the the Friday of the first week to decide what you're going to keep and what you're going to drop. All right. But you probably want to talk this over with dad in terms of the projected. You're trying to keep the cost down for him. That's the presumption with this schedule information and recommendation. Taking 9 now, that's 3 courses. All right. Uh, and then take 4 in the spring, in the fall, rather. And during this summer or the following summer, whatever you want, that would have to be this summer. Take 2 or 3 credits online or during the intersession or whatever, just so that you can only come back and take 9. And in case you have a problem and you needed 12, you got your bunch covered here. Okay. But you can adjust, basically work up to this point right here, the end of the fall, the beginning of the fall scheduling in the summer that's coming up. want to plan for that and look what you got in front of you. I don't know if you know, how you feel about school at this point or how long you want to stay, or if you do want to finish, I know you found the work to be very enticing and important. So I really don't know what to say beyond that.